Oh man, oh man.
There is nothing like having a relaxing day by the sea until something out of the ordinary pops up, like a mysterious animal or monstrous creature. Heavenly, shocking, amazing, or terrifying. Here are some of the most unbelievable things caught on shores that shocked everyone. Spike, the bloated whale. A local resident was driving on Sunday morning around the beach when he found a massive, dead humpback whale that had washed up on the coast of Malcolm Island, British Columbia, Canada. This young humpback was first seen alive in 2018 and had visited the same location every year after that. It was loved by the locals, and they had named it Spike, after a character in The Land Before Time. The whale had clearly been dead for quite some time. That's why it was so bloated that the resident who found the whale thought it was a huge rock. The locals were deeply saddened by the sudden death of this whale. Mystery of the MOBULA rays. This one is a classic. 9 years ago, about a dozen MOBULA rays were found dead and bloated on the beach in Gaza. MOBULA rays are similar to manta rays, and they travel in huge schools with thousands of rays traveling together. According to the local authorities, no fish had been seen on that beach for 6 years, and then suddenly this incident happened. No one really knows, even to this day, why or how these fish got on the beach in such poor conditions. Was it because of some human activity, or did something else happen? Do you guys have a theory? 300 whales in Chile. Not 20 or 40, but 300 whales mysteriously washed ashore on the Chilean coast in 2015. It was the largest recorded mass stranding of these majestic mammals up on the shores of Chilean Patagonia. Experts were baffled by the appearance of these expired whales. Though the notion of human intervention was ruled out as the reason for the expiry, some marine biologists raised their concern about the probable presence of deadly viruses in the water. They collected samples and studied the whales before asking the relevant authorities to dispose of the bodies. Sharkhead. While fishing on the beach of New Zealand, this boy discovered an old tree trunk, on which he found something really freakish. A shark head! How had that head ended up on top of that trunk? Where could be the rest of its body? A hook stuck inside the shark's mouth was clear evidence of the shark being hunted, and crawling worms were playing their part in decomposition. Was its body already decomposed, or did the hunter take the body to obtain its omega-3s? This will always remain a mystery to us. One-eyed shark. This might be the most scary and the weirdest thing anyone has ever found on a beach. This one-eyed shark was found washed up on the shores of Mexico. I know it looks like a rubber dummy, but believe it or not, it is very real. This baby shark has a birth defect, commonly known as cyclopia. This condition causes the animals and some humans to have just one eye instead of two, but most of the humans don't last for more than a few days with this defect. This shark also has albinism. That's why it is white in color. Stranded pilot whales. Earlier this September, hundreds of pilot whales were stranded on the beach in the state of Tasmania, Australia. According to official reports, almost 200 of the stranded whales had expired. The officials worked the entire day to push the whales back into the ocean, but they can weigh up to a ton, which made things difficult for the rescuers. The biologists told the officials that the nearby Ocean Beach and Macquarie Harbor are hotspots for these whales to get stranded on. Every year, hundreds of whales get trapped, disoriented, and stranded on the beaches. Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Mysterious creature. Australia is home to many mysterious and strange creatures, like this weird creature that washed up on Sydney's Bondi Beach. It looks like a rayfish with lips that resemble human lips, and its skin is just like that of a shark. Well, rays belong to the shark family, so that makes sense. but it isn't flat like a ray. Rather, it looks like a hybrid between human, ray, and whale. Kind of strange. What do you guys think about this creature? Is it a ray, a hybrid, or some undiscovered species of fish? Tsunami creature. After the 2011 tsunami in Japan, many videos stormed the internet regarding strange creatures being washed up on the shores all over the country. One such video shows a strange ball-like creature with patterns on its skin being washed up on the beach. The guys recording the video even touched it with his feet, but clearly the creature is not alive. According to many people, it is a broken sea sponge, but I've never seen a sea sponge of this shape or size. Oceans and seas are so vast that we still can't identify thousands of creatures, despite having so much technology at hand. Rare fish carcass washed ashore. On the beach of New Jersey, people found a scary fish washed ashore. Everyone was wondering what species of fish this is. Turns out, it was a fish dating back to prehistoric times. This is a rare type of short-nosed sturgeon. This bony fish was found by Stephanie Hall, a local resident who was out for a jog in Island Beach State Park when she spotted the giant fish carcass. Sturgeons were once found in abundance, but the caviar industry mass fished them, and now they are really endangered and rarely seen in the wild. Sea monster carcass. Remains of a huge animal washed up on a Bay of Plenty beach in New Zealand caught the attention of the locals, as the badly decomposed remains resembled prehistoric animals or a mythical water dragon, as many people initially believed. In reality, this carcass belongs to some species of whales that has been decomposed to an advanced stage. That's why it's hard to recognize. Shark jumps onto boat. Finding a deceased shark washed up on the beach is one thing, but having an alive shark lurching onto your boat is another. A group of men in New Zealand were enjoying their fishing trip when they were startled to hear a loud thud. They look back to find a massive mako shark has jumped on the glass screen of the boat. The shark wiggled itself back into the water, but not before giving these men a good scare. Oldest human footprints. While exploring the east coast beaches of the UK, the scientists found human footprints, which they believe had belonged to ancient humans. The scientists believe that these footprints are 500,000 years old, and one of the oldest footprints ever discovered outside Africa. They belonged to an ancient man. I wonder what he was thinking while he took a walk. Fossil of a sea dragon. During a routine draining procedure for re-landscaping, Joe Davis, a worker with water conservation team, discovered something sticking out of the mud. At first, he thought it was just a clay pipe, but then he showed it to his colleague, saying it looks more organic. Upon a much closer look, he discovered that it was a fossilized animal. The fossil belonged to a rare 180-million-year-old ichthyosaur, also known as the sea dragon. It was a marine reptile that resembled a dolphin. This incredible fossil is almost complete and is 33 feet long, with just the skull as big as 6 feet. Woolly mammoth. A group of locals discovered remains of an adult woolly mammoth from the shores of a northern Siberian lake. The scientists were able to retrieve a part of its skull, several ribs, and foreleg bones, some with soft tissues still attached to them from the clay and mud. Climate change is revealing a lot of prehistoric remains of different animals, which were preserved in the permafrost for thousands of years. The scientists are studying the remains to find when this mammoth lived or how it passed away. Beach with bones. This island lives up to its name, the Dead Man's Island. A couple of guys decided to explore the island shores when they came across a number of human bones, including a lower jaw with teeth still attached to it. This island was used to bury the prisoners, and it was also used as a quarantine spot during a smallpox outbreak. Sadly, Dead Man's Island is the last resting place for many people, and has many legends and folktales attached to it. Alien hand. While taking a romantic walk along the beach, a couple stumbled upon a gnarly sight of a skeletal hand. This sinister discovery was made at a shore in Brazil. According to the couple, it does not look like a human hand, and they are convinced that they had discovered an alien hand because of its really long fingers. But according to some commenters, this skeletal hand belonged to a whale flipper. I don't know, guys. What do you think about this clip? Stranded sperm whale rescued. Strandings are difficult on sperm whales, and animals don't always survive, even if they are rescued. But this sperm whale defied the odds after being rescued. In April 2022, a 70-ton, 62-foot-long sperm whale was spotted floundering in the shallows of the coast of China. The animal was flapping its tail, unable to move, and was in danger of dehydration. The rescue team tried to haul the whale away, but its size was a great hurdle in it. Then, they kept splashing water onto the whale to keep its skin moist, and waited for the rising tide to tug it back to deep waters. At last, after an intense 20-hour rescue operation, the sperm whale was finally returned to the sea. Rare albino whale. An extremely rare white humpback whale washed up on a beach in Australia in July 2022. It was assumed that the carcass of that albino whale may belong to the world's most famous white whale, Migaloo. However, after the examination of the dead humpback whale, it was identified as a 10-meter-long, pure white subadult female that was pretty spectacular and marble-looking. It was unclear how long it had been there, because it seemed like a white whale, or at least a whale with a darker pigmentation that has passed out at sea and washed ashore, and has been weathered over time. Whale carcass. A 40-foot-long carcass of the world's largest shark was spotted in Karachi, Pakistan. The 7,000-kilogram whale shark was dead when it was discovered in the Arabian Sea. Authorities used cranes to pull the carcass of this slow-moving, plankton-eating shark from the waters at a fish harbor in front of the curious crowd, who were excited to see an extremely enormous sea creature. The reason why it died was unknown, but experts believed that the shark might have been killed after it got entangled in a net. A message bottle. In September 1988, a boy named Chris in Sacramento wrote a letter, shoved it into an empty glass seltzer bottle, and tossed it into a river. In December 2016, the mysterious missive sparked the curiosity of another young boy, Ryder, who found the bottle near a river in California, hoping it was a treasure map. Instead, he found Chris's perfectly preserved note tucked inside a plastic bag. Ryder and his mother tried to honor the sender's wishes by dialing the attached number that had been disconnected. But still, they hoped to track down the message author, who would now be in his 30s. Fish trapped inside a jellyfish. In August 2021, a man on his routine beach walk spotted something strange that, according to him, was not something you see every day. A bizarre-looking, translucent, gelatinous compass jellyfish with its last meal trapped inside it made a surprise appearance. Although both the predator and prey have died, they were perfectly preserved on the beach sand, with the whole fish clearly visible through the translucent bell. How they ended up like that is a question mark. Generally, jellyfish are known to attack and take charge of small fish. But sometimes, small fish are responsible for hijacking the jellyfish as they seek shelter among the stingers of certain species to hide away from predators. Shark versus stingray. An epic scene of death chasing life grabbed the attention of curious beachgoers in Australia when a hungry shark looking for a meal discovered a southern stingray on the menu in the clear waters of Heron Island. But the stingray, being much smarter than a shark, decided to beach itself, although this option could suffocate it. But the choice was either to choke on the beach or get eaten by a shark. So the stingray beached itself and started splashing by whipping its long tail. It carefully got back into the ocean after realizing the danger had gone. But the shark was still waiting and followed the stingray once again. gigantic pipes. Visitors to a beach in England were in for a surprising sight when they headed to the coast for some sun, sea, and sand. And instead, they found 4 enormous plastic pipes, more than 7 feet in diameter. The brand new bore pipes were being towed to Algeria for a large project, but before they could reach their destination, they came loose and were carried off on a tide and washed up on the shore. One of the pipes on the Norfolk beach became an attraction for the curious beachgoers who enjoyed walking on a large pipe segment. Although there was no threat of pollution due to these pipes, a recovery operation was made to refloat these 4 beached sections of pipe back to their manufacturers in Norway. Jellyfish infestation. In August 2021, Crimean beachgoers were shocked when thousands and thousands of invertebrates descended upon the shores near Shulkin village that was famous for providing relief from the summer heat. This squishy influx, caused by consistently warmer temperatures, reduces the amount of fresh water flowing into the sea, making them saltier, and invited the jellyfish, the saltwater lover. Although those jellyfish weren't fatal to humans, they had a sticky, unpleasant touch and a smell. Due to this jellyfish infestation, the beaches were left empty until the disgusting creatures were removed. Dolphin rescue. This clip is one of the most wholesome 54 seconds on the internet, in which a guy not only spotted a horror-stricken dolphin, but also decided to rescue it. The clip opens with the man lifting up a dolphin in his arms and then carrying it to the shore, where he put the mammal back into the water so it could just swim back into its home. On a January morning of 2020, a fisherman was leaving for his work when he found a whale washed up in the mangrove forest of the Tasilo village beach, Rotendao Coast, Indonesia. According to the chief of that village, the carcass was swollen up and had a lot of scars on it. The chief had formed a team of experts in order to assess why this whale died and how it got there. But, according to some locals, they had seen this whale alive and tried helping it, but it was too heavy to move, and the seawater had already receded. But by the time the fishermen found this whale, it was already dead and had scars on its body. What do you guys think? What killed this poor whale? Humans or something else? Since Indonesia is famous for a lot of mythical monsters. Let us know your theories and opinions in the comments below. Baby elephant rescued. This is not everyday knowledge, but elephants are excellent swimmers and extremely protective mothers. Now, what if an elephant baby gets stuck in a mud pit during a swim and humans want to help it, but the mother, being the paranoid self she is, refused the help? These rescuers had no choice but to dart the mother and then help the duo out of the mud pit. The baby was stuck there for more than 2 days up to its neck, barely keeping its head out of the sticky substance. The rescuers used rope and brute human force to dig the baby out of the pit. The mother was then woken up and reunited with her baby. Strange blue fish with a surprise. Beaches can be full of surprises. This girl received an unusual surprise while collecting shells and other collectibles from the beach. She came across a unique bright blue colored fish. Upon cutting up the fish, beautiful pearls came out of its belly. I don't know if the fish is real or not. Probably not, because I've never heard of a fish that can make beautiful pearls in its stomach. But what do you guys think? Have you ever seen a fish with such capabilities? Prehistoric creature. Now this is some nightmarish stuff. This horrific carcass washed ashore on the New Jersey beach in 2018 and gave the residents the chills of their life. They were quick to call it a sea monster or something out of this world, but marine experts saved the day for everyone. When the authorities were called in to examine the reptile-like carcass, given the scaly skin it had, they declared that it was a diamond sturgeon, a rather ancient fish found primarily in the Caspian, Black, and Sea of Azov basins. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, share it with your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you won't miss more of our upcoming videos. Thanks again!